The Baroque period saw instrumental music and instrumental sounds rise to an equal importance to the voice that either they accompanied or, in some cases, replaced, for both the composers and the listeners of music. Now, when we look at the instruments that were popular during the Baroque period, you see a lot of similarities. The things that are a bit odd, when you look at the violin family, you'll be seeing something called or not seeing, I guess, hearing me talk about something called a viol. V-I-O-L. And I don't have a picture to show you one, but it looks more like a square box with a violin neck on it, as opposed to the modern violin, which as soon as you see the shape of it, you know what it is. The trumpet is largely the same. It's just become more refined. The oboe, that's another instrument that was largely the same, but has become much more refined, as well as the flute. Alright. The other instruments that were important were primarily accompanying instruments. You had the lute, which looks kind of like a turtle that got run over on the road, and they used his shell to make an instrument. The lute was the primary picked instrument, or I guess you'd say plucked stringed instrument type thing. The lute was it. That's a little confusing though when we put the harpsichord and the organ as the two primary piano instruments, only because a harpsichord is really a picked instrument. You don't pick it with your hand, but when you push a key down on a harpsichord, it plucks a string, rather than on a modern piano, a hammer actually hits the string. So it's a different method of playing it. That's why they sound so different. But we're still going to call the harpsichord and organs both keyboard instruments. And there's a picture of a very high-end harpsichord on page, I'm looking at an older edition of the book, but let's see. About 5 pages into chapter 10, towards the bottom. There's an ornate French harpsichord. If you look at that, you'll notice that the keys are turned around from what we have on a piano. You have the normal keys that are not up a little bit are all black, and then the white keys are the sharps and flats that are placed on a little higher up in the keys. And you have 2 rows of keys, which is more similar to what you'd find on an organ as opposed to a modern piano. And it's important to know that the piano had been invented, but it was still not really accepted totally. It had not been a proven commodity and was not really used by many instrumentalists. As we get to Bach, you'll find him being one of the main guys who really gave the piano a big kick in the butt, and yeah, this is good stuff. But it was not the main keyboard instrument of the Baroque period. That would be the harpsichord and the organ.